This is the Sakar Murli of the 8th of February 2025. Essence. Sweet children, you are God's helpers, the true Salvation Army. You have to bestow the salvation of peace on everyone. Question. What should you children tell anyone who asks for the salvation of peace? Tell them, the Father asks, do you only want peace here at this time? This is not a land of peace. Only in that land of peace, which is called the original home, can there be real peace. When souls don't have bodies, there is peace. In the Golden Age, there is purity, happiness, peace, there is everything. Only the Father comes to give this inheritance. Just remember the Father. Om Shanti. The spiritual Father explains to you spiritual children. All human beings know that there is a soul in each of them. They say, living being, do they not? Originally we are souls, then we receive bodies. No one has seen his or her soul. They only understand that they are souls. Just as they know about souls, but haven't seen any, similarly they also say of the Supreme Soul that the Supreme Soul means the Supreme amongst souls. However, he has not been seen. They have neither seen themselves nor the Father. They say that a soul leaves one body and adopts another, but they don't know this accurately. They also speak of 8.4 million species. In fact, there are 84 births, but they do not even know which souls take how many births. Souls call out to the Father, but neither have they seen him, nor do they know him accurately. First of all, if they knew accurately what a soul is, they would also know the Father. If they do not know themselves, who would explain? This is called self-realization. No one but the Father can bring this about. No one knows what a soul is, what it is like, where a soul comes from, how it takes birth, or how a part of 84 births is recorded in such a tiny soul. If they don't even know themselves, how could they know the Father? Lakshmi and Narayan also have a human status. How did they attain that status? No one knows this. It is definitely human beings who should know this. It is said that they were the masters of heaven, but how did they achieve that mastery? And where did they then go? People don't know anything. You now know everything. Previously you didn't know anything. For example, does a child know what a barrister is? As he continues to study, he becomes a barrister. So too this Lakshmi and Narayan became that by studying. There are books of law and medicine, etc. Their book is the Gita. Who spoke it? Who taught Raja Yoga? No one knows this. They have changed the name in that, the Gita. They also celebrate Shiv Jayanti. It is he who comes and makes you into the masters of the land of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna was the master of heaven. However, they don't even know heaven. Otherwise, why would they say that Sri Krishna spoke the Gita in the Copper Age? They have placed Sri Krishna in the Copper Age, Lakshmi and Narayan in the Golden Age, and Rama in the Silver Age. Calamities and upheaval are not shown in the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan. Kans, devil, has been shown in the kingdom of Sri Krishna, whereas Ravan, etc., have been shown in Rama's kingdom. No one knows that it is Radhe and Krishna who become Lakshmi and Narayan. It is definitely the complete darkness of ignorance. Ignorance is said to be darkness. This knowledge is said to be the light. Now, who brings about this light? It is the Father. The knowledge is said to be the day and devotion the night. You now understand that that path of devotion has continued for birth after birth. You have continued to come down the ladder. Your degrees have continued to decrease. After a new house is built, its lifespan continues to decrease day by day. When it has aged by 3/4, it would definitely be called old. First of all, you children need to have the faith that He is the Father of all, the one who bestows salvation on all, and who also teaches this study to all. He takes everyone to the land of liberation. You have the aim and objective. You will study this study and go and sit on your thrones. The rest will be taken to the land of liberation. When you explain the picture of the cycle, you show that there aren't those various religions in the Golden Age. At that time, those souls reside in the incorporeal world. You know that the sky is empty space. Air would be called air, and the sky, the sky. It is not that everyone is the Supreme Soul. Human beings believe that God is also in the air, that God is in the sky too. The Father now sits here and explains everything. You have been given this birth by the Father. So then, who teaches you? The Father Himself becomes the spiritual teacher and teaches you. Acha, if you study well and complete your studies, He will take you back with Him, and you will then return here to play your parts. You definitely first went down into the Golden Age. Now, once again, you have come to the end of all your births, and you will then go down first. Now the Father says, race. Remember the Father well, and also teach others. Otherwise, who would teach so many? You will surely become the Father's helpers. There is the name, the helpers of God. In English it is called the Salvation Army. What salvation do they want? Everyone says, we want the salvation of peace. However, it is not as though they give them the salvation of peace. Tell those who ask for salvation of peace that the Father asks, is it only here that you want peace? After all, this is not a land of peace. Only in that land of peace, which is called the original home, can there be peace. When a soul does not have a body, he is at peace. Only the Father comes and gives this inheritance. Amongst you also, some of you need to explain with great tact. If Baba were to stand in the middle of the exhibition and listen to everyone, a lot of mistakes would be pointed out, because those who explain are number-wise. If everyone were the same, why would teachers write to ask for so-and-so to come and give a lecture? Oh, but you too are a Brahmin. Baba, so-and-so is cleverer than I am. It is because of cleverness that human beings receive a status. They are number-wise. When the exam results come out, you will automatically have a vision, and you will then realize that you didn't follow Srimat. The Father says, don't carry out any sinful acts. Don't have attachment to bodily beings. Bodies are made up of the 5 elements. It is not that you have to worship the 5 elements or remember them. You can see through those eyes, but you have to remember the Father. The soul has now received the knowledge that we are now to go home, and that we will then go to paradise. A soul can be understood, but cannot be seen. Yes, in your divine visions, you are able to see your own home, as well as heaven. The Father says, children, man manabhav and madhyajibhav means remember the Father and the land of Vishnu, which is your aim and objective. You children know that you are now to go to heaven. Everyone else is to go into liberation. Not everyone can go to the Golden Age. Your religion is deityism. This then is the religion of human beings. There are no human beings in the incorporeal world. This is a world of human beings. It is human beings who become Tamopradhan and then Satopradhan. Previously you belonged to the Shudra caste, and you are now in the Brahmin caste. This caste system only belongs to the people of Bharat. The Brahmin dynasty, the Sun dynasty, would not be said for any other religion. At this time everyone belongs to the Shudra caste. They have reached a state of total decay. When you became old, the whole tree became decayed and Tamopradhan. Then how can the whole tree become Satopradhan? In the new Satopradhan tree, only those of the deity religion exist. Then from being the Sun dynasty, you become part of the Moon dynasty. You take rebirth. Then you become part of the Merchant dynasty, and then the Shudra dynasty. These things are all new. The one who teaches us is the ocean of knowledge. He is the purifier, the bestower of salvation for all. The Father says, I give you this knowledge. You become deities. This knowledge will then no longer exist. This knowledge is given to those who are ignorant. All human beings are in the darkness of ignorance. You are in the light. You know the story of the 84 births of this one. You children have this knowledge. Human beings ask, why did God create this world? Can we not receive eternal liberation? Moksha? Aha, but this is a predestined play. It is an eternal drama. You know that a soul sheds one body and goes and adopts another. What need is there to worry about in this? That soul went to perform his next part. There would be a point in crying if you were going to get that thing back, but it does not come back, so what is the benefit in crying? All of you now have to become conquerors of attachment. Why do you have attachment to a graveyard? There is sorrow and nothing but sorrow in that. Today he is a child. Tomorrow the child becomes such that he does not take long to knock his father's hat off, to insult him. They even fight with their father. This is called a world of orphans. They have no lord or master to give them teachings. When the father sees them in such a state, he comes to make them into the ones who belong to the Lord and Master. Only the Father comes and makes everyone belong to the Lord and Master. The parent comes and puts an end to all their fighting. In the Golden Age there is no fighting. He puts an end to fighting in the whole world, and then there are the cries of victory. Here the majority is of mothers. People also consider them to be servers. When they tie a wedding thread on her wrist, they tell her, "Your husband is your God, your guru, everything." First it is Mr. and then Mrs. The Father now comes and puts you mothers in front. No one can have victory over you. The Father is teaching you all the laws. There is a story of King Mohjit, conqueror of attachment. Those stories are all made up. In the Golden Age there is no untimely death. You shed your bodies at the right time and take others. You have a vision. This body has now become old, and a new one has to be adopted. I have to go and become a little baby. They leave their bodies in happiness. Here, however, no matter how old they are, how diseased they are, even though they understand that it is good if the body is discarded, in spite of that, at the time of death they definitely cry. The Father says, "You are now to go to such a place where there is no trace of crying. There is nothing but happiness there. You should have such unlimited happiness. Aha, we are becoming the masters of the world." Bharat was the master of the whole world. Now it is in pieces. You were worthy of worship deities. You then became worshippers. God himself does not become worthy of worship and then a worshipper. If he were to become a worshipper, who would make you worthy of worship? The Father's part in the drama is completely separate. There is only the one ocean of knowledge. Only this praise of that one exists. There is the ocean of knowledge. But when can he come and give this knowledge so that there is salvation? He would surely have to come here. First of all, instill it in your intellects who it is that is teaching us. The Trimurti, the world cycle, and the tree are the main pictures. On seeing the tree, they will quickly understand which religion they belong to, and that they cannot come in the Golden Age. This cycle should be very large. The writing should also be full. Shiv Baba, through Brahma, is establishing the deity religion. That is a new world. This old world is destroyed through Shankar, and then he sustains that new world through Vishnu. Let this be proven. Brahma becomes Vishnu, Vishnu becomes Brahma. There is a connection between the two. Brahma and Saraswati then become Narayan and Lakshmi. The ascending stage happens in one birth, and the descending stage takes 84 births. Now the Father says, are the scriptures, etc. right? Or am I right? I am the one who tells you the true story of the true Narayan. You now have the faith that you are becoming like Narayan, from ordinary humans through the true Father. First of all, there is the one main aspect, which is that no human being is ever called the Father, Teacher and Guru. Would you ever call a Father, a Guru or a Teacher? Here you take birth to Shiv Baba. Then Shiv Baba teaches you, and he then also takes you back with him. There is no human being like this whom you would call the Father, Teacher and Guru. That one is the only Father. He is called the Supreme Father. A physical father would never be called the Supreme Father. After all, he is the one whom everyone remembers. He is definitely the Father. Everyone in sorrow remembers him. No one in happiness remembers him. So that Father definitely comes and makes you into the Masters of Heaven. Acha. To you sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the Mother, the Father, Bapdada. The spiritual Father says Namaste to you spiritual children. Essence for Dharna. 1. While seeing these bodies made of the 5 elements, continue to remember the Father. Don't have any attachment to a bodily being. Don't carry out any sinful acts. 2. Each soul has an eternal part to play in this predestined drama. A soul sheds one body and adopts another. This is why you should not worry about leaving your body. You have to gain victory over attachment. Blessing. May you have the determination to make a total sacrifice and celebrate your transformation ceremony. There is a saying, even if you have to die, you must not let go of your religion. So, no matter what circumstances come, even if a Mahavir form of Maya comes in front of you, do not let go of your principles. Do not accept back the useless things that you have relinquished from your mind. Constantly be an elevated actor, and with your powerful form of elevated self-respect, elevated awareness, and elevated life, continue to perform your act of greatness. Finish all acts of weakness. When you have the determination to make such a total sacrifice, the ceremony of your transformation will then take place. Now collectively fix a date for this ceremony. Slogan: Become a real diamond and spread the sparkle of your vibrations into the world. Have love for solitude and imbibe unity and concentration. It is not a big thing to do ordinary service, but to reform that which has been spoiled and to bring about unity in diversity is a big thing. Bapdada always says, first there has to be the unity of one direction, one strength, one faith, and then unity among companions, in service, and in the atmosphere. Om Shanti.